For example, in Indonesia, in India even, in Indonesia, India, Thailand of course, China of course, to be an Egypt, a very, like a liberal Islamic country, for example, secular, orthodox, some parts of secular, some orthodox, they can accept art as an occupation. They can understand that. You say you are anak musawir, I'm a painter. Yeah, they can accept. They boleh terima. Yeah. But in Malaysia, after independence, setelah macam-macam kita buat, macam education kita buat, pandang ke timur, pandang ke barat, tak pandang mana-mana. we still art ni macam, well, meantime.
It's a mystery,
It's something in between. We don't get that much coverage.
So,
kalau dibandingkan dengan Indonesia or Philippines, for example.
So your first art show basically becomes the push for you to be more confident in your art as a career. So can you talk about art as a career? The challenges.
My late professor Joseph Tan Chanjin, I learned a lot from him. The meticulous discipline of drawing, painting, the working discipline. Not technically, the working discipline. Sit for hours, stay put and do your work. He said, it's not important to be Islamic or Western or secular, no. The most important is to be yourself. To be yourself. Do what you think, do what you see. Yeah. Show people how you see it. That's originality. Masa tu, he said this at a time where there was a revival of Islamic art, pandang ke timur. Masa tu daya bumi buat, so everything nak Islamic. Sulaiman Isa pun ada dia punya pandangan tauhid dia, siri tauhid dia, siri ketuhanan dia. So we struggling. We were taught in school how to do Islamic, how to contradict the Western culture. Kita pun belajar banyak buku from Iranian architecture, kan. Nadir Adalan, Hussein, all these people, kan. But masa tu kita rasa we are induced, kan. We are coerced to do that. Where we pribumi, kita orang Malaysia, kita bukan macam tu. Kita bukan dibesarkan untuk macam tu. We are very laid back, kan. Artis satu-satu laid back. So there's also a struggle. So bila I faham Joseph Tan ni kata, to be yourself, just keep pushing yourself. Keep pushing the goalpost. Mana you hit harder. Watercolors, portrait, drawing, just do it. Just produce. Originality will come when you are very far from your original point. Kan?
How long was that for you? How many years after becoming?
I think 20 years. 20 years. 20 years. Lama. Sebab to be confident, because you tend to, bila orang buat abstract, you buat. Bila orang buat heritage, bila orang buat architect, you don't buat architecture drawing sikit-sikit. But then you keep pushing, and fortunate enough, bila ada sambutan, bila you keep doing, bila you do your still life, orang suka, and you went for a tangent. Lepas tu, after still life, after Raw Flowers tu, I buat garden series. People ask me, why you doing garden? You are still life all the way. Tiba-tiba all of a sudden you are doing. I say, humorously lah cakap, I was looking outside. Now I'm outside. I was looking in the window. Now I'm outside of the window. Before it's the garden outside, the garden looking outside. Now the garden looking inside. I explained to them, in British culture, English culture, garden is where you sit down with an umbrella or gazebo and have your tea and your fruit cake. So that's British kind of garden. But Japanese garden is to view from a small cornice, viewed from a circle, viewed from a window. So that's what I'm doing. It's a garden but viewed a different way. Yeah. So I was trying on my own, try to push the boundaries, explore this way. Yeah. Study watercolor. Why printmaking in Japan was so popular? Why the Western artists? Why does the Impressionist was impressed by the Japanese print, which is on paper, and they produce something else better, because they learn from each other. And they do their own. They fight their own war, their own battles. So itu yang buat. So masa tu kita tak ada art critics, kan. Masa tu tidak ada collector besar yang beli painting cuma. Masa tu hotel, kan. Equatorial, Sheraton, Hilton, banks seperti Bank Pacific, Bank Negara, Bank Bumi Putra at the time. And Maybank of course kan. Sebelum the upsurge of this bourgeois collectors kan. Masuk all institutionnya kan. Set kecil mungkin buy one or two kan. Tak ada collectors kan. And then luckily bila in the 90s we start getting a lot of Chinese tycoons kan. You think YTL, Berjaya Group, they start buying kan. So alhamdulillah good. And then they slow down. And then came the Malay collectors, the young Malay collectors, all these architects, all the designers, all these nouveau-riche kan, yang berbayar start buying. And now you see even around my studio now we have teachers buying art. What 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 kan. Then now the understanding is much better. So as an artist we grew and we saw this development. Man. I think it's very healthy.
What's the satisfaction there? I'm trying to understand. What is the satisfaction in having a solo show out? And what will trigger you back into the cycle again for your next solo show?
I'm sorry to say, being an artist is a very dangerous
Egoistic ride.
Yeah, very dangerous. Because in Islam pun sebenarnya, I mean, the worst spiritual disease that can leave your body, even though you are okay, you dah sederhana, you dah zuhud, is the yearn to be famous, the yearn to be known, to be acknowledged. Kan? So that's what's happening. Kan? We get our satisfaction when people acknowledge us. We acknowledge by buying the painting, and talk about it. So this acknowledgement is a credit.
It's validation also.
Validation, yes.
Validation.
But if you are not careful, you are trapped two ways. You are trapped in technique. You keep repeating yourself, trying to please the people like them again and again, or you are trapped in pujian.
You are just explaining the social media.
Yeah.
How many likes do you get for this post? Yeah.
Same. Same. So, okay, we jump forward. Now I'm doing sculpture show. For 3 years, I've tooling with this
Sculpture.
wood, sculpture. Yeah. Knowing that sculpture is not a favorite subject art items, and people will go for painting first, canvas, watercolor second, maybe print third, maybe. Yeah. Sculptures maybe. Yeah. But they don't buy like that. They don't buy in bulk. 1 or 2 they'll buy. A lot of our sculptors, they can manage, they can get by doing commissions. You know, not to mention names, but they can get commissions. Yeah, and they get commission to do corporate gifts, or even as a big structure for a building. But as a sculptor in Malaysia, it's very tough, very hard. So fortunate for them to acquire that. So knowing that, I still buat because tadilah the urge to push the boundaries, because I need to do something that I'm not comfortable with, because my favorite artist dia kata in UK kata, Anthony Gormley, dia kata, if you are working comfortably, you are not working. If you are working comfortably, you are not working. You have to work in a very unconducive condition. People might reject. You might not like it, but you have to work. That's how art progress selama ni. They work in unfavorable condition. Keadaan tak duit, keadaan warna tak cukup, keadaan orang mungkin tak suka. So that, knowing that I still put in sculpture, but I want to express. I want to belajar bahasa yang baru. I can speak English, I can speak Malay, yes. But why not I try to sing in Mandarin? Why not I try to sing something in Urdu? I might make mistakes. People may not like it. I make something wrong. I may insult people, but I have to do because I love I'm the lovers of languages. So macam tu juga. I love art. I love the visual language. Because art ni satu benda yang art is a language without any words. So why not I done another media? Maybe sculpture this year. Maybe this is the only time. Maybe I will continue. I don't know. But spoken to a few sculptors around the world online lah. Dia kata but ultimately you want to do marble because marble is a challenge. Marble is there. It's the Mecca. Are you Muslim? Marble is the Mecca. You have to go there. You have to do that. So maybe, yeah.
Langkawi will be a good place for you.
Yeah.
But people who know you and have seen your work, me especially, quite surprised when you make the move to sculpture. And knowing and seeing your sculptures, it's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy.
It's not easy. Can you give some background how it started, what triggered it?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I studied sculpture during our college days for 2 semesters. With my then become very good friend Zakaria Awang, renowned sculptor. Zakaria Awang dah meninggal lah. But during that study, because I'm a colorist, I color everything. I color everything. Even when I draw my girlfriend muka merah, lipstick, I color everything. So bila kita buat sculptural sketches, sculptural studies, I tend to color everything. No, Rafi, masalah kau ni dah fikir 2D. You are thinking in 2D. Sculpture is form. Mesti ada form. And your color confuse form. Your colors should show form, not to confuse form. I ingat lagi tu. So even now, kalau I buat sculpture, I color, ni kalau Pak Yatim mesti marah ni. My color confuse form. Okay. And then lepas tu, after that, I never thought I will do any sculptures. Tak pernah. I never give a second thought. Okay. Sculpture is what I think is what you bump in the exhibition. Oh, ada sculpture kat belakang. Okay. Apa ni? Macam something you hit when you start to move backward. It's nothing you go, oh, sculpture. No. Something you hit when you try to reverse looking at paintings. Macam itulah my experience on sculptures. Pergi mana US, ke mana? Oh, ada sculpture. Careful, ada sculpture kat belakang. But masa I travel kat America, Canada, I tengok, especially Canada, because my daughter is Canada, I used to go there every 2 years. So kita used to drive coast to coast, Quebec sampai Vancouver, coast to coast, 7,000 km, 7,000 km. So sampai tu bandar nama dia Hope, kat British Columbia ni, Hope. Hope ni tempat dia shooting cerita First Rainbow tu, bandar dia, kayu balak tu kan. So di Hope ni, every year dia ada sculpture competition. They have a 40-minute competition, 5-hour competition, 24 hours competition, 5-day competition. Mana you have to complete within that period. So interestingly, yang 40-minute competition ni, they're very agile with their chainsaws. Dia boleh buat beruang, ular, naga, bears. Dia local motif lah kan. Apa ni North American motif tu kan. Banyak beruang, helang kan. But in 40 minutes, come on. They cordon the area lah. Kita can watch from our car. Kita boleh jalan tengok about 50 meter away. But safety ini reason kan. Tapi tengok dia boleh mesti tamat. Lepas tu judge dapat hadiah. 40 minutes they can create a bear, an eagle. Impress. But to me it's like it's a decoration. It's a decoration. It's a sculpture of course. It's nothing aesthetically high about that. It's biasa. It's a set of skills kan. Okay. But I was intrigued by the chainsaw and the wood. Lepas tu boleh baca-baca lagi, rupa-rupanya in Canada ni, Canadian Rail, CP Rail, Canadian Pacific Rail tu, they own a lot of land in Canada. One of the biggest landowners. Dan dia buka jalan tu, buka track ni, dia clear jalan tu, clear hutan ni. All those kayu balak tu, they give to the artist. And not only in Hope, in many cities they give for the sculpture competition.
Okay.
Bukan bagi macam tu je. They clean it, they process it, they keep for 2 years kan. They fumigate everything and they give to the artist as a finished medium so that they go. So to me it's very very nice kan. I mean tak terfikir pun kan. We can support artist in that way. You cannot give money. You don't want to give money. You rich but you just something. I think we can do something here. Kan. We have our timber council whatever. We have something like that but tak terfikir pun kan. We have kayu balak in Sabah a lot kan. And we have pungkir kan traditional. Kita pun pungkir traditional kat sini. It's in the back somewhere, in the background, in the smoke somewhere. So tak apa lagi. And then when I went to China, Laos, I saw one sculptor ni dengan chainsaw juga. Dia buat big flowers, bunga periuk kera tu kan. Dengan kayu je dia buat. Kayu balak sebatang. Mungkin tak some commission lah. Tapi juga it tends to attract me because the form is more organic now. It's more fluid, more organic. Something I can relate to my paintings. Balik Malaysia, travel lagi to Myanmar. And then COVID. And COVID, tak tahu apa lah, datang studio pun tak boleh. So start Google online. Go to Canadian sculptures, Scandinavian sculptures, Maori sculptures, African sculptures. Kan. And I was surprised Dekat New Zealand ada traditional sculpture school.